What's going on, everybody? It's another lovely day in the neighborhood. It's the Talking Busch podcast. I am your host, John Thompson. I am joined by the unbelievably talented group of Derek Hartman and David Pikus. Gentlemen, how's it going tonight?
Going well. Doing real well. How are you doing, Johnny?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. Glad to see your faces here. It sounds like we're off to a very good start considering our kind of screw up.
Already better than last week, baby. Already better than last week.
That is awesome.
We got sound all the way around the horn.
Oh, that is so good. I'm so proud that we actually got this figured out. I don't even know what to say.
I mean, really just using that education to a T, watching all the YouTube videos. So proud of your Googling, John.
Yeah. A lot of people go to school for 7 years. Yeah, they're called doctors. Right,
Didn't even have one.
Yeah,
Didn't even
right.
figure it out.
Right, Derek? You were there.
I don't have a problem on my end. That's all I'll say.
Well, I just like to tell everybody if they like immaturity and awful sports takes, they are in the right place. We have so much to cover tonight.
Wrong.
I don't know if anybody knew this, but the NFL Combine was over the weekend. We're going to talk that. We're going to play a little game with Dave. We're going to save what the game is, but we're going to play a little game with him. We're going to play another game where Derek and I basically discuss 4 to 5 moves the Vikings need to make to be contenders next year. Dave is going to listen in and basically put his 2 cents worth in. The Gophers basketball team we're going to talk about. We also have Busch Light or Busch League, and we're basically just going to have some shenanigans go along with that. So, what did you guys, Dave? I want to start with you. You sent me a Snapchat of some jackass up in some rafters. What were you doing this weekend?
You know, every so often I like to venture north to the homeland of Drew Boat and the dumpster fire. He is building a house with his own 2 hands. It's very interesting to comprehend that in 2019 when you just pay somebody to do this work for you. But he's doing it. He needs some wiring done before get it all inspected up so that they can get it insulated and his next crew of indentured servants / slaves weeks to so he just needed to get everything wired up and get it to pass inspection. So I threw on the old work boots and did about 15 to 20 hours worth of work for free.
Jeez.
And actually, I bought lunch for the whole crew, so technically I paid to work up there. But that's okay. And it passed inspection on Tuesday, so we're looking good.
Jeez, you paid for lunch? The freaking contractor couldn't even take you out for lunch?
I figured that since I didn't have the skills to do a lot of the stuff they were doing, that I could run and get the lunch. And I paid for it and then just didn't submit my reimbursables.
Mr. Moneybags over there.
Are you kidding? Must be because you're going to be over on that west side of the cities on the shores of Lake Minnetonka.
Yes, sir.
Which, by the way, I saw your little group picture. You looked very dashing. You hiding in the back.
Fucking terrible photo. Literally, there's a planter in the back there.
Yeah.
And they're like, everybody's going to scoot in. I'm like, can we take one step forward so I can not be in the planter / like trying to be peeking around somebody's head? Nope.
Yeah, you were kind of like a little angry inch, like just poking your head up just enough so everybody knew you were there. I just started laughing instantly. I was like, oh, poor guy. I could have freaking gave him a little bit of space back there.
Unbelievable.
Derek, what'd you do this weekend besides mate like rabbits?
Yeah, that happened.
Congrats on the sex.
Yeah, way to go, bud.
Thank you.
Dude, she gave your balls a tug, bud.
Saturday we went
A little
to
sloppy top.
Sorry. It's not going to stop.
Yeah, that's fine. Went
Well,
brewery
slap and
after the,
tickle.
Yeah. Gluck 9000.
oh, good for me.
Yeah, old
Goose
good for you.
Gobbler.
Heard that there was the National Guard was on watch because there's flash flood warnings in St. Paul.
I'm not sure I understand that one.
Okay, just move on. What'd you do this weekend?
We went brewery hopping. Hit,
Weird.
Hit about 6 of them. Did Black Stack. Did Dual Citizen, which is Pat Kessler's nephew's brewery. It's not very good. Just FYI.
Sorry, Pat. Your nephew's brewery sucks.
Yep. Did Wabasha Brewing. Did the brewery that's in Keg and Case, Clutch.
Nice.
Down in the old Schmidt Brewery. Not a good brewery. Great atmosphere,
So
though.
bad. Yeah.
Great atmosphere.
Where was that one?
In the old Schmidt Brewery.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
called Keg and Case, they call it now.
Sure.
It's like a...
Food hall,
Mhm.
basically.
Yep.
Fake food hall.
Made it to Barrel Theory, of course. Closed her out with Tin Whiskers and 12 Eyes.
Nice.
That's just to stay warm on the walk home.
Essentially, yeah. Yep. Had a little book that was buy one get one, so drink wine at each and called her a day.
Nice.
Well, oh, good for you.
Mm-hmm. You got an update from just across the street. The Yuri Dana Hornets are beating the Moorhead Spuds 2-0 after the first.
So you think because the Athletic couldn't get into the Minnesota State High School League hockey, you think
The Athletic is in.
Oh, they are. I was gonna say, you think Talking Busch podcast could get in on our credentials? I mean, we don't have a paywall. I think it's pretty cut and dry that our credentials should work.
It's entirely possible.
We are kind of a big deal with all 22 subscribers. Maybe more, maybe less. We might gain one this week because this is going to be a hell of a show. Let me tell you.
At least
Let's get to it.
Let's dive in, huh, buddy?
All right, let's give our balls a tug, boys. Have you watched Letterkenny yet, by the way?
No.
No. See, Derek, watch Letterkenny. Get back to me next week. Then you'll know what I'm talking about. With my last unfunny comment that nobody laughed at and pretty much made me look like a jackass. So thanks for that. Appreciate it. The NFL Combine was on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Started off with.
Where do they hold that?
I believe that's in I think it's in the RCA Dome in Indianapolis, Indiana. All the scouts and coaches and GMs fly out there, basically get absolutely shit-faced, drink a lot of wine, eat a lot of steak, tug on each other's balls, flirt with each other, try to make trades, watch kids run around in their underwear, and basically it's an underwear job interview. You basically go to your job interview in your underwear and you show off for a bunch of dudes. But there were some highlights. I got my notes here. Like I said, Thursday was the offensive linemen. Friday was the wide receivers, tight ends, quarterbacks. Saturday was the defensive linemen and the linebackers. And then Sunday was the defensive backs. And I'm not going to lie, the offensive linemen were awesome, but the defensive line group was unbelievable on Friday. Or Saturday, I'm sorry. There is
did you guys see the numbers from Montez Sweat?
Yes, I watched all of it, and he is a freak. He is
6'6", 260, 4'4", 40. That's not even humanly possible, I don't think.
He beat, so it was a funny tweet. Someone asked the starting safety for Mississippi State, who was running on Sunday, if he could beat Montez Sweat, and he said, Sweat's not even fast, quote unquote. Well, guess what? Montez Sweat beat him with a 4.4, and he ran a 4.49. It was 4.41 to 4.49, and they did the simulcast, and Sweat beat him. So that is unbelievable.
It's crazy. How about the offensive lineman that ran after eating 4 or 5 donuts for breakfast?
Oh, good for you!
Just living the dream.
Dude,
Breakfast.
those linemen, I'm telling you, they were so. There were some that were so impressive. This is such a deep class for linemen. The one, I don't think we're gonna get to a couple of them because they're just so talented in their. It was just fun to watch, like their hips, how their hips would just open so fluidly, especially the tackles, because they have that one drill, Dave. You remember where you basically start in your 2-point stance, and then it's like a half moon, and they gotta basically shuffle the feet around.
They call it the 3-cone. I believe that we're doing it at the Busch League off-season meetings.
Yes, I believe so, which need to be rescheduled again. Commissioner, could you get on that? Oh, wait. The commissioner's not here. Anyway, the couple of guys that I saw that did really outstanding were Cody Ford, Jonah Williams, Derwin Gray actually surprised me a lot. He is a tackle from Maryland. And obviously Andrew Dillard, who a lot of people have coming to Minnesota. He did really well in that drill. Derek, what did you see from the offensive linemen that you've kind of watched from the highlights?
To be totally honest, I don't know what to look for in an offensive lineman at a combine.
I guess
don't.
I guess I've watched enough of it. I just listened to Mayock for 15 years. I kind of know what to look for. And let me just tell you this. Jonah Williams, for example, left tackle for Alabama. Now, given this isn't Montez Sweat rushing against him, or Khalil Mack, or Von Miller, but Joe Thomas was on site there, All-Pro, future Hall of Famer, and he said that Jonah Williams' kick start, which basically his first step back, was so smooth that he was just already in position for the defender trying to run around him. Because what they're looking for is that they keep shuffling their feet all the way around, rather than flip their hips and are basically what Matt Khalil would do, which is start running after the defender because he'd already be beat. So those 4 guys I mentioned did really well. They didn't flip their hips. They actually stayed square and shuffled all the way around.
Yeah.
My
argument would be the Ravens' right tackle, Orlando Brown's kid.
Yeah.
Last year just bombed the combine.
Yes.
He put up like 13 reps of the bench press and ran like a 5.5.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a late second round pick and starting right tackle.
Right.
I don't know that offensive line is the position where the combine matters the most.
Well, and I'll say this because a lot of people have had us with this Greg Little from Ole Miss, and he had a Orlando Brown style combine. He looked awful. That doesn't mean that at his pro day he can't clean some things up. So, I guess what I'm getting at is there's a lot of we'll get into it towards the end when we get to our off-season stuff, but there's just a lot of offensive linemen to pick from. Let's just put it that way. Let's move into the skill positions.
There's only one guy I really want to talk about.
Who's that?
Have you seen the picture of DK Metcalf?
If we give
that guy's on drugs.
If
He's
Dave, I did you a solid. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I have this all set up for you. So that is DK Metcalf for the listeners and his teammate AJ Brown, who is Antonio Brown's cousin. That is supposedly 1.6% body fat, ladies and gentlemen. He looks like a Batman suit. It just doesn't even look real. He's the guy on my right, which would be the viewer's right. Had to think about that for a second. Dave's watching live. He should be. Can you see it, Dave? Okay. You should. First out, did you watch his gauntlet? It was pretty impressive. where they run down and they throw passes at him.
I did see that. I also watched this three-cone to know that.
No. I actually think that somebody from the Busch League will beat him in the three-cone pass.
You think so? Phil Bastron, maybe?
One guy will.
I think Phil might. Phil's still pretty athletic out of all of us. Derek could give it a go. Us.
The thing with the three-cone is, we're too dumb to do it right, because you have to go out and around, and then you cut inside the cone, and then you go out and around back.
Sure.
So it's like a diagonal figure eight to do it right, and we're gonna fuck it up every time, guaranteed.
I have to watch that on YouTube a bunch.
Yeah, and I've watched amateurs try to just do it, and they just screw it up.
Not very good.
No. We could draw it out on the ground which way you have to go around the third cone. No one's
It
gonna
might be the best idea. How about those Iowa tight ends, John?
Dude.
Finally, let's get them out of here.
Oh, if you weren't impressed before, you had to have been after watching those highlights. I am just going to come out and say it. If we draft either Hawkinson or Fant, I won't even be mad. I'll be so excited.
Fant?
Is it that time of the cycle to get one?
I mean, Rudy is 29.
Yeah.
He's not getting
And
any
over-
younger.
Slow.
And I really hope that Green Bay or Detroit doesn't take one of them, because that would be upsetting.
Does New England not have just written all over it? Late first round.
For sure. A guy that I forgot to mention in the offensive line group is Chris Lindstrom from Boston College. He was a guy that they said too. He had a really good combine, and they're like, "Yep, that's a New England guy, second round pick. He'll probably end up being an All-Pro, because that's just how Belichick does things." But
He's really football smart too.
yeah. So
I would take him second round.
I think what it comes down to is they're gonna have to figure out they're either gonna have to decide need or best player available, and they're gonna have to go that route. The Minnesota Vikings are.
We'll get there.
Yep. I was really impressed with the Ohio State receiving core, and actually the Ohio State.
Holy hell.
They're just general special or position players. Mike Weber had a good day. Paris Campbell had a really good day. I forgot about this guy. Terry McLaurin ran a 4.35, and he did really good in some of the receiving drills. That's a name to watch in the late rounds. I was very impressed with him. Hakeem Butler, freak athlete, is as advertised. Has a hard time catching the standard route. He had a few drops in the
Very important for a wide receiver.
yeah.
No.
He looked really good with all the running and everything like that, but when it came to the gauntlet and the actual receiving, he had a few drops. So, but he is a freak, and I mean, if he's a late round pick, that would be a good pickup. Other than that, I have a bunch of names written down, but nothing to really talk about besides DK Metcalf, just a stud physically.
Did you mark down the name, like J.K.
Harry?
Pollitt?
Oh,
The Florida
yeah. He
kid who he bombed it.
Yeah. He
One
ran.
chance,
Yep.
and he fucked it all up.
Yep. Same with Greedy Williams. He had a horrible day on Sunday. He ran the 40 okay, but then he looked awful in all the backpedaling drills. Deion Sanders was making fun of him, which is not good to say. So he knew he was doing awful, so he actually shut it down after the second
My only
drill.
question, because I didn't see this bit, and I really don't know much about Greedy Williams.
Yeah.
Is he black?
How?
I mean,
How
he's
dare
greedy.
you? How dare you? How
But
dare
Deion
you?
Sanders doesn't make fun of black guys. It must have been real bad.
It was bad, man. It was really bad. That Deion was like, he was questioning every defensive back coach in college. He was like, if I could, I'd slap every D-back coach in college, just because of the way these guys are, like, their positioning of their feet and how they were.
Go coach then, Deion.
I know, right?
How about the others? ball, and your favorite Minnesota Golden Gopher.
I was going to get to the defense because that is another position group that really had a good day. Blake Cashman, he will be a second-round pick. He really helped himself. He did really good in all the drills. His 40 was awesome. Daniel Jeremiah was so impressed by his 40. And then he and Charles Davis had a mini conversation. They said that watching tape, like, Blake Cashman is a stud when it comes to blitzing a quarterback. He said because when a running back tries to squat on him or block him, he just blows him up and goes right through him. And so they were really impressed with him. And then actually, believe it or not, Ryan Connolly from Eden Prairie was right after him with all the drills. And they really liked him too. He was a walk-on at Wisconsin, played linebacker. But he's from Eden Prairie. So the linebackers had a really good day. Devin Busch and Devin White both ran 4.40s, which is crazy. Those guys are going to be in the top 10, top 15. One's from LSU, one's from Michigan. Figure it out for yourself which one's which. That's another one. That's like tight end. Like, you got to, especially with our needs, you got to decide what's more important. And that is going to be one of those decisions that they have to make.
Not linebacker.
And then obviously the D-line. Ed Oliver didn't run at all. Dexter Lawrence got hurt after the 40. He's a D-tackle from Clemson who was highly regarded. Jeffrey Simmons from Mississippi State was out. He tore his ACL, so he didn't participate. But obviously the D-line was as advertised. Montez Sweat, Nick Bosa, Josh Allen, Rashawn Gary, Quinnen Williams. Those guys all showed up, ran 4.5, 4.640s, which is insane. Tested well in all the drills. A kid that is going to be sneaky good, and I hope the Vikings take a chance on him. He is not going to be a sack master, but he is going to be just a good, like, Stephen Weatherly player, and that is Tristan Hill of UCF, University of Central Florida. He tested out really well over the weekend. I hope they get him in the late rounds because he looks
down.
What?
I can't wait to see him. I said write it down. I can't wait to see him get cut in training camp.
Exactly.
Okay.
Can we go back to
write that. Put that on the
Iowa tight
soundbar.
ends to the Patriots bit for a minute?
Okay.
Yeah.
While we've been on the air, Gronk has put his $1 million penthouse in downtown Boston up on the market.
Wow. Yep, it's over, Johnny. It's over. It was a good run.
Well, he probably go on vacation with Eric Decker and just come back and be like, oh, well, I don't need to play sports anymore. Look at what Eric's doing.
Yeah, and look at my small,
And I get to pay Camille every day.
which she is a good-looking gal. That bikini, oh my
She's
God.
all right.
You totally beat it to that picture, and you know it.
Just, she's an 8.
All right.
Maybe a 9 with that personality.
You played just the tip. With
Very confusing, though, with she was wearing, like, the one-piece suit with the straps rolled down and then a bikini top on.
Yeah.
It was an interesting choice, but
Can
I
you
would
say a guy like me? All right, we got to talk about this draft.
yeah, we got the Dave challenge here.
Yeah, I got a challenge for Dave since he apparently doesn't pay attention to anything. So, Dave, I've got 6 names, and you have to tell me.
This would have been my commander.
What?
Yes.
And he doesn't listen to the show.
Oh,
He probably won't.
yeah, the guy who
We'll figure it
lives under basically, he's almost in the dark. He is almost off the grid, but not quite. This was intended for him, but we're going to do it with Dave because Dave is kind of the same. He's so busy. He's got not golf yet, but bowling and curling. Oh, good for him. He's so popular. All the girls
Sexy
are
ladies.
sliding into his DMs. Lucky him.
Oh, good for you.
So I got 6 names for you, and you're going to tell me if this is an actual free agent coming up on Sunday or if they are a draft prospect. Are you ready?
Okay, let's do it.
First one is Trey Flowers.
Trey Flowers. He is he's going to be a free agent.
That's right. Do we have like any sound? We didn't put any Price is Right music on there, did we? God, we suck. How did we not think of that?
I do have this when he gets it wrong.
Well, how about, do you got anything that's so yeah, there you go.
Woo!
That works.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay.
Okay. Quinnen Williams.
This guy sounds young. Let's go draft prospect.
All right. Landon Collins.
Landon. I don't fucking know. Country of origin.
Alabama.
Draft prospect.
Landon Collins is a free agent safety from the New York Football Giants. Dwayne Haskins.
He's a draft prospect.
Yeah.
Quarterback. The Ohio State University.
We had that one on there for train.
Yeah, we thought sure that would be one that he would not know.
Yeah.
And have to
We teed that one up for you.
even though he was a Heisman finalist.
Yes.
Let's see. Roger Saffold.
Raji Saffold?
Yeah, Roger Saffold.
Sounds like a free agent.
All right. And the last one, Jawan Taylor.
Who's he?
Oh, Roger Saffold?
Yeah.
Rams guard.
Rams
Best
guard.
free agent guard.
Yep.
Okay. Who's this
Jawan,
last guy?
Jawan Taylor.
Juwanna Taylor. Sounds like a draft prospect.
5 out of 6. Not bad. Good enough for an A-. Attaboy.
Thank you.
Proud of
Thank
you.
Didn't even use the phone to look him up. Felt good about that.
Proud of you.
Just went by guys who I've heard of versus guys who I have not heard of.
Sure.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Yeah, you did really well. Proud of you. Should we move into our quick 4 to 5 moves we think the Vikings should do?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Do you really have 4 of them?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Derek.
Okay.
You can go first.
Anthony Barr is gone. Long gone.
Yep. Agreed.
Cheap replacement. We are not spending draft capital or free agent dollars on a linebacker. Jimmy Collins just got cut by the Browns yesterday. He's a good player.
Who did?
Jamie Collins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I imagine he'd be a nice fit at probably a reasonable price.
Sure.
My step 2 is cut Andrew Sendejo.
Yep.
He's not worth the money.
Yep.
And I actually thought Anthony Harris was better in his duty replacing the injured Sendejo late in the season last year.
Okay.
When it comes to the draft, they better draft 2 starting guards. Figure it out. Slick Rick needs to put in a draft card for an offensive lineman in the first round, and maybe the second or the third, and find us players that can keep Kirk upright. My other one is kind of a wild card. I think they need to draft a Kyle Rudolph either a replacement or at least a backup / get up the field sort of tight end. They missed that element because they don't really have a slot receiver unless you count Chad Beebe.
I don't.
So a backup tight end, kind of a la the Patriots, might be a unique way to go about filling that need.
Who was the German guy that shared a locker with Thielen 2 years ago?
Mobile?
Moritz Boringer?
Yeah.
He's long gone.
He's at the Bengals.
Well, I know. He's bringing him back. He's pretty fucking fast.
Apparently they didn't like him. He's in Cincinnati right now.
We're on to Cincinnati.
We're on to Cincinnati. Derek, mine's pretty much similar, except for I agree with cutting Sendejo. Barr will not be back. I would actually be surprised if the depth of this D-line class if Richardson isn't back.
Probably not.
So, I mean, you could say let him go and try to get one of these guys late in the second round or third round. I am also with you on the tight end. You need to, if Fant or Hawkinson are there, I would really consider drafting them. Even Irv Smith from Alabama was very impressive.
But in the first round, when the offensive line is an enormous need,
there's so many offensive linemen, Derek, that it's unbelievable. So many guards. Those guards, the two guards that I like, which are Risner from K-State and Lindstrom from BC should be available in the second round. The Wisconsin,
that's one. You're going to get one of them.
The Wisconsin kids actually did really well. Dieter, I called him BB because it's Bo, Ben Shekel, Neckel, blah, 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 whatever the Wisconsin kids' names are. And David Edwards all tested really good. Nate Herbig from Stanford actually was hurt all last year. He tested out pretty good. I mean, there's Garrett Bradbury, there's Dillard, there's so many offensive linemen. I think you can get one like a Brian O'Neill in the second round.
That's fine, but we need two.
I think that
sign Roger Saffold.
Did you?
There
you done with your 5, Johnny?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because I'm basically saying cut the fat, which would be Rudolph, Everson. Either restructure, cut the fat, and then build back up through the draft, and or some free agency, like Derek said, you got to get 2 starters. Okay, you either got to re-sign Nick Easton or sign Roger Saffold and draft another one. Hold on, I guess.
Are you guys 100% that we're over the cycle? Now we got to start back from the middle. Or I think we're still only 2 to 3 pieces in place, right pieces in place for being a pretty elite team.
Yeah, I don't think those guys are bad players yet, but we just need room. That's why I'm saying.
Well, no, I think the bar's got to go. I think that Rudolph is old and slow, and he's more of a non-conventional route runner.
No offense to you, Kyle. If you do listen, we love you as a person. You're just slowing down a little bit, and you run backwards 3 yards every time you catch the ball before you go forward.
He doesn't have
yards after
sound presence.
Has to be like 0.
Yeah, true. And he breaks his routes on feeling instead of on where the sticks are.
Yep.
And
2-3 yards.
we don't have time for that anymore. We can't, on 3rd and 5, run that 3-yard out route to him, or 3-yard across the middle route to him, where he catches the ball and then, like you said, runs 3 yards backwards and then gets 4 yards. And he would have had a first down if he would have just would have turned and ran forward. Bullshit.
Plus, Derek, why I say that too is Rudolph isn't the greatest blocker either. If you draft Hawkinson, just YouTube Hawkinson, just burying people. He is just such a superior tight end just a blocker. I think that would really help with Dalvin. I'm just saying, it's just because with Fant, you know what you're getting, right? You're getting a Kelsey, an Ertz, a guy who doesn't really block, who's a superior pass catcher.
No. I hear the argument, and I actually, if we didn't have just crushing needs on the offensive line,
I know.
If that didn't bury our season,
that would be absolutely what I'd be standing on the table for.
Sure.
You saw Kelsey last year.
Yeah.
Well, you even saw Greg Kittle. They damn near won games by them.
Watch your damn mouth. Know your damn role and shut your damn mouth when you speak of George Kittle. You got me? Okay, pal?
I just wanted to see.
Yeah. Oh, so funny. Ha, I forgot to laugh. To your point, I think teams will make the decision for us, though. If Hawkinson and Hawkinson and Fant are gone, then it's pretty obvious what we need to do. So that's going to be the big thing is if all our options are off the table and Dillard and Taylor and Williams are there, well then you just got to pick who do you think is the better tackle out of the three or the better guard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think that our full problem is going to be solved with draft. Also, I think we got to bring in somebody in free agency on the offensive line.
Agree.
I totally agree.
And it might be we get 3 or 4 offensive line draft picks. Plus, we bring in 2 guys.
Yeah.
And they got to fight it out.
Yeah.
It has to get better.
Especially this is a new line system. This is zone blocking. So
Yeah.
you need.
And I like Elfline for his own zone blocking scheme, but he's got to be better than he was last year, or does not deserve to start.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, Remmers will be gone too. Remmers will be gone.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
That was assumed.
How about John Sullivan? Is he an option to bring back?
I don't know how his relationship is. I think he's salty.
I just don't think,
I think he's salty. I really do. I don't think it ended well here. And maybe because they did fire that strength and conditioning coach, he might be okay to come back. But he's blamed his injury.
New line coach. Yep. New line coach, new strength and conditioning. Just throwing it out there.
Yep. No, I think it's possible if they can work it out. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys are in the know with the Gophers. I think things might. Are they warming up with Antoine Winfield and the Vikings at all? I know he's pretty salty on the way that ended, but I mean, juniors at the U, they're obviously still.
Antoine Winfield loves. They're good now.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
We mend.
Yeah. I just didn't.
We apologize when we're wrong.
Right.
We take the high road.
You see what I did there? I transitioned because I brought up the Gophers, and now guess what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about the Golden Gophers basketball team. They upset number 11 Purdue. Was it 73-69? Something like that. I didn't watch the game. I just saw the storming of the court. It was pretty sweet. Guys, can your Golden Gophers make the dance with that awesome, awesome victory?
Well, in a rant last week.
That wasn't recorded, that we lost in the archives.
But anyway, they're in right now. I think. I think they have a good enough resume.
Derek, how important, or Derek or Dave, how important is the Big Ten tournament for them?
Gotta win one game. I mean, not to get in, just for themselves, they need to win. They need Amir Coffey to keep playing frustrated. He's been taking all sorts of flack over the last month, the whole month of February.
Deserved.
Yeah, 100%. And it's been his plague his entire time at the U. Is he comes in half the games with a I don't give a fuck attitude, and that doesn't work. When he plays hungry and angry, he plays like a fucking stud.
Yep.
And that's what he's been doing these last few games, and hopefully he understands and can get to that mentality every game from now out.
32 the other night, following a 31-point performance. His first career double-double, which to me says a little bit, too.
Yep.
A guy his size can't grab 10 boards.
He's a leaker.
Who's the last Gopher to score 30 back-to-back? Any idea?
I heard it the other day. I can't remember.
Vincent Greer.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's been 14 years. It's actually been like 6 or 7 since it's even happened in the Big Ten period. It doesn't happen, which shows you how talented he is.
Right.
And all the more so that he's got to bring it night in and night out. It's time.
It is. I think he's skated kind of riding Murph for way too long, and he just needs to be a leader.
Yeah.
And be selfish. These games he's been selfish. He'll take the ball to the rack every freaking time he touches it, and he. I don't agree with a lot of the shots, but
he's big enough, strong enough that I don't often want kids to put their head down and just go to the hoop. But he's big and strong and quick enough that he sometimes just has to do that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Stop just sitting out on the perimeter. Get to the rack. Go draw a foul.
Yep. Well, he has been.
Does this little run here save Richard Pitino's job?
Richard, what the hell?
I think it helps.
Yeah. I think a lot of things are going to happen in the next month and a half. When we get to signing day for the basketball kids, and we have no recruits,
yep.
we got to start looking at it.
We have one, but
We got one, and then we have the kid that's had out this year. So I mean,
yeah,
we'll be able to field the team.
yeah. I hope it gets from UCLA. That decommitted from UCLA and was at the game, at the Purdue game. Sherfield, I believe, is his last name. I hope that he comes. He's a 4-star player, forward type, because they're going to need a forward with Murphy graduating.
Yep.
I hope that he commits because they need recruits. They need players.
Yeah.
I also heard a hot rumor that Michael Hurd is looking to transfer.
Ooh. Did
So, not that he's great, not that he adds a lot, but goodbye, Matthew.
Well, that was already.
Yeah. It says a lot that Krzyzewski and Calipari were in Rochester last night, and Richard Pitino was not.
Yeah. Who
He knows.
was that a relative that was there, Derek, or a friend that was
Yeah.
sending those? Okay.
Brother.
Oh, it's your brother.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Did he did get his picture with Cal. He did not with Krzyzewski, correct?
He actually said the line for Coach K was about 50 deep,
Oh.
and Calipari had 0.
What?
He said he didn't think people knew who Calipari was.
That's crazy.
So he said he talked to Coach Cal for a few minutes.
Sure.
Coach Cal talked about his ashes on his forehead.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Said that he went to church in the morning so he could go to the basketball game in the evening.
Oh.
Nice.
Yep.
My ashes last night were like a giant thumbprint on my head. It was no cross at all. It was just a giant thumb.
Did you do it, or did you let the priest do it?
I had a very nice lady did it.
I was gonna say, or were you,
My head.
or was there 2-for-1s down at the old strip joint, and they were handing out Ash Wednesday cross?
Dipping a titty in and then putting it on your forehead.
No, that was your
it was
cross.
It's about a 6'3", 6'4", probably 280 black woman.
She's a nice
That
lady.
put it on. Very nice lady, but she could have dunked probably.
She dunked on your ass for show.
Hell yeah.
That's great promoting by the strip joints. They should do that.
No,
Ash,
maybe for you Lutherans.
come in, have a nice hot meal, get a lap
Nice hot dog buffet. Get a dance, and then we'll give you the ashes.
I would
In and out.
I would show up.
4
At least
hours.
once, out of respect.
Out of respect. All right.
Derek, we got a
The
game to
other-
play. Or what do you want to do?
Busch
We
League.
got some other questions. Do we have another Gopher question here? Topic? About a certain player's jersey getting retired into the rafters? A lot of talk about that this week.
There
Yeah,
was.
Dave.
I didn't know.
Part of this.
Oh,
That's-
okay.
Busch League.
Nice.
Jordan Murphy is who Dave was referring to.
It's already retired.
One of the greatest Gophers of all time.
Yeah.
Stat-wise.
Stat-wise. Didn't lead the team to a lot of team success. 8 wins as a freshman, 12, 13 as a junior. Not great, but he's the second all-time leading rebounder in Big Ten history. And when you put numbers up like that, you're going to get recognized. I don't know if you guys watched the player speeches at the end of the senior day game, but Richard Pitino, as he's introducing Jordan Murphy, said that his number will soon be up in the rafters with the greatest of all time.
Nice.
Guys, do you think that is? Or?
Busch League.
I will go first. I think it's Busch Light. You are correct. He has been the foundation of this program for the last 4 years, especially when things haven't been so good. Eric Curry tears his, we go to the dance, we're one and done. Then Eric Curry tears his ACL, and Reggie Lynch has his issues, and it's just kind of just been a rough go of it. And yet he's been rock solid through it all. And as you stated, he is the second all-time rebounding leader in the Big Ten history. So, yeah, I think it's Busch Light. It's definitely good. He deserves it.
I concur with John. I think it's Busch Light. I think that it's a weird deal in my head. I put an asterisk by it that says like we're in this new style of basketball that's kind of soft, and I don't think the Big Ten is what the Big Ten was, with the other guys whose numbers are up in the rafters,
Right.
because there used to be some beasts of men, but he somehow goes up and gets the rebound every time, and props to him. He's been a leader on the team. He's kind of kept a lot of these guys together, especially with the off-the-court stuff that they've had going on. So, good for him. Hopefully it happens.
I'll say this about Jordan Murphy: he's not soft. If he played 30 years ago, he might fit in better. The length kills him. They sent 2 7-footers at him and can't score.
Yep.
So back in the day, he might have taken it to those 6'10" slow white guys.
True.
I had a hot take myself after watching Coffee go off for a second game in a row. He kind of reminds me of Wiggins. He's got all this talent, and yet he floats through half the games, maybe more. Guys, Amir Coffee, Andrew Wiggins comparison, is that
Busch Light.
or?
Busch League.
I think it's Busch Light. I think you are on, because one of the reasons, some of the complaints that the Gophers have had this year is, where has Amir Coffee been? And if Murphy and company could just get a little bit of help from him, they probably would have won a couple more games. And that's the same thing with the Wolves. If Towns could just get Wiggins, like some of it, just a little bit of help from him, we could probably be closer to the 8th seed than we are. But, Coach Saunders has to sit him on the bench because he can't rely on him. I'm off my soapbox.
Good for you. I like the comparison. I mean, the Rube in me says we're asking Amir to do a little bit extra this year by playing point guard, because the fucking guy doesn't know how to dribble below his waist. But that being said, I could see a very good hit piece by the Star Trib on this very topic coming very soon.
You're welcome. Andrew Wiggins, speaking of him, the Timberwolves are going to have some interesting choices to make this offseason.
Gone.
Do you... Probably. But it's going to take giving up assets to get rid of him. You're going to have to throw in stuff. So do you give up your lottery pick to get rid of Andrew Wiggins? Would that be... or...
I think if we are in 4, I think there's 3. If we get a top 3 lottery pick, based on us, playing like we have been the last couple yesterday, I think it's Busch Light. Let it happen. But if we can get a top guy in, we trade him with Trey Jones, maybe one other guy, get in 2 good players, and really give Cat some help.
Is Trey Jones who would be drafting, or are you trading his brother Tyus?
Whoever the fuck you want.
John?
I'm okay with that. I think it's Busch Light. It's his time is over. I've been one of the last ones that have been saying give him a chance. We fired Tibbs thinking it would help. He came out of the gate strong for Coach Saunders, and now he's back to his normal self. So it's just, if he can't play for Ryan Saunders, it's time to cut bait.
Fair enough. Byron Buxton is on fire in spring training. Absolutely tearing it up.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna put up an enormous year. Maybe MVP like numbers. Do you guys think that's
Busch Light.
or?
Busch League.
I think it's Busch Light. I agree. I think that he took whatever meeting that him and Thad had last year that said you got to figure your shit out, or we're shipping your bitch ass off. I don't care if we're the number one prospect for 4 years in a row. Counter side of that, Sano, same conversation with Thad, and that motherfucker is gone.
Yep.
He's done. He's gonna be. He actually. Here's my prediction. How many years in the league is he? Probably 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna butcher this name, but Osti Otto. No, the our new big fat guy.
Willem?
Yeah.
Willens.
Willens.
La Tortuga.
Yeah, the Tortuga. That's Spanish.
I thought it was Portuguese. I could be
Spent
wrong,
10
though.
years down in the smalls, and now he's single-handedly gonna change baseball. And the Twins, thank you for your ultimate fuck up the other day where you had them penciled in at shortstop, because I was so excited.
I would have watched the spring training game, or at least highlights.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then they're like, oh no, he's playing third base. Which, if he can excel there, goodbye Miguel. Adios amigo. Because clearly he can't go an entire offseason without fucking around down in the Dominican. And we don't got time for that anymore. We need to win some baseball games.
John, how do you feel about Byron Buxton and having an MVP-like year?
I'm going to say Busch League. Because it's not that he doesn't have the talent, but I'll believe it when I see it. Because we're only in spring training. And I know guys like Chris Bryant have tore up spring training, and then it's translated to the regular season. But I'm going to believe it when I see it. It's not that I don't believe Byron can't do it, but history has shown that he always starts off really slow in April and May. So I'm just going to wait it out, and hopefully it translates and he is on fire. He's the best center fielder in Major League Baseball. He deserves a plaque in Cooperstown, blah, 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 all that jazz. But Busch League, I'm going to believe it when I see it.
Fair enough. John, this one's mostly for you.
Okay.
One of the Twins' best prospects, his name is Alex Kirilloff.
Okay.
He's a slick hitting outfielder.
Okay.
High average, good power. Number 2 prospect for the Twins behind Royce Lewis. He recently talked about the reason that he was so good at hitting was because his dad had him hitting off a tee when he was 10 months old. John, is training your 10-month-old to start hitting?
Busch Light.
Or?
Busch League.
Some people win the lottery, Derek, and some people don't. And some people's lottery tickets are their children. So it is Busch League, but I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I mean, that's just ridiculous to me. At least wait till they're 2 like Tiger Woods. Then I could get behind that.
What do you think, Dave?
Start them young. Baseball is a lifelong sport. I single-handedly know a child who's 23 months old.
Single-handedly?
I single-handedly. You don't know. You don't know this kid.
You don't know my life.
He knows all about himself.
Yep.
Hitting balls off a tee into a net. Loves it. 3 to 4 hours at a time. Great leg kick. Good hand.
Yeah.
Coming through.
Is he catching pop flies yet?
Nope, can't catch for shit. We can teach that later.
Yeah, we can work on that. What else you got, Derek?
All right, the big news of the day was Case Keenum getting traded. Case Keenum and a 7th
No, shut up. That happened?
go to the Redskins. Go to the Redskins for a 6. So basically, trading back just a few spots to Case Keenum. The real thing is Case has a real chance to be the starter and maybe drive the Redskins to a playoff and unseat Alex Smith as the long-term man in Washington. Would that scenario be
Busch Light.
or
Busch League.
I say it's very much Busch Light. Alex Smith's future is not guaranteed. That's a horrific leg injury. Case should be the starter, barring a rookie coming in or a rookie next year with Tua and a couple other guys coming out of the draft. But I think this is Case Keenum's job to win or lose, so it's Busch Light.
Yeah.
Take your time, Dave. Don't rush into this. This is a big decision here.
No comment. I have no comment on this one. Okay, good. I think it's a good pickup for Washington. That's all.
One other kind of just rumor mill. Earlier this week, Russell Wilson and the New York Giants were mentioned together as a pair. Russell Wilson going to the big city again. Russell Wilson going to the big city. Is that
Busch Light.
or
Busch League.
I think it's Busch League. I think we all know that Future lives on the West Coast, and Sierra's still fucking the shit out of him, so they ain't leaving.
I think it's Busch Light. Dwayne Haskins did not impress me at the Combine. He did not impress Daniel Jeremiah. He did not impress Charles Davis. Therefore, I think Russ's future lies in the concrete jungle of New York, where he can bang Sierra exclusively, not share with her baby daddy. So,
It doesn't matter what you think.
you know what?
Last
Go
NFL
sit
question
on
for
a
you
sandpaper dildo and rotate.
it sure seems like Kyler Murray's going number one. You hear all the subterfuge you heard last year with Baker Mayfield, kind of these teams posturing, seeing Murray's, bad interviews, head case, blah, 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 but it sure seems to me like he's going number one. Taking Kyler Murray number one the year after you just drafted a first-round quarterback with the
Busch Light.
or
Busch League.
Busch League, even though it's a new coaching regime, I don't think Kyler. I don't know if I believe Charlie Casserly's report that he's a horrible student of the game, but I don't know. I think it's kind of sucks for Josh Rosen, but it's a business just as much as it is a game. So, but it is Busch League. He should get a shot.
Oh well. These guys will all land wherever they need to land in the next, 4 months. I think everybody's going to have a job eventually. So, Busch League.
fair enough. That wraps up
Busch Light.
or
Busch League.
Nice.
Yeah. that was
Any
good.
obscure news this week, John?
What's that?
Anything happened in the world this week?
Cruel Intentions turned 20 years old, and there's not many regular movies that get me all hot and bothered in the pants, but Cruel Intentions is one of those movies every time I watch it. Something about
Which part?
Oh, Sarah Michelle Gellar dry humping on Ryan Phillippe. Oh my God. Huh. Jesus. Every
You're
time.
pretty hard right now.
I am. My desk
Right.
was lifted off the freaking ground. That was pretty
Did
much
it?
that was pretty much my porno back in the day. That could do it for me.
fair enough.
I had a massive crush on Sarah Michelle Gellar after that.
Why?
Massive angry inch, massive crush.
This little number here turned 20 as well.
You do if you had $1 million. I'll tell you what I'd do, man. 2 chicks at the same time, man.
So good.
Tell me
Brilliant.
what exactly is that you do here.
Yeah. I'm going to need you to come in on Saturday.
Good stuff. Anything else we got, boys? I got a hot date with some beer tonight, so.
Well, just one more bit then. Kellen Winslow. I'm sure everybody saw, heard, read about him. He likes older ladies. He likes them so much that he will show his junk or touch them when they do not want it. It must have been possible to him.
That's Dave Saturday night.
Given that he just played in the NFL, but they don't want it. However, we also like older ladies here on
We do.
on the Talking Busch podcast. Dave, who's your favorite hot lady?
Jane Seymour, 100%.
That's a good
Just
one.
got her tits done.
That's a respectable answer.
You motorboat son of a bitch, you.
Yes, sir.
Are they built for speed or built for comfort?
Both.
Both.
You know,